aviators. This is a video series on Module 10. Wait, I know. You might be having plenty of doubts, like what is DGCA, what is CAR, what is module all about, how to get a AME license. So in this video lecture, I will brief you regarding the Module 10. That is our aviation legislation. हम समझेंगे एविएशंस के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस क्या होते हैं। अब ये डाउट आ रहा है मन में, हमने एडमिशन लिया है एयरक्राफ्ट मेंटेनेंस फील्ड में, तो हमें रूल जानने की ज़रूरत क्या है। यू नीड टू नो द रूल्स, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू as you are a future AME. When you're going to release an aircraft after maintenance, you will do as per the documented rules of DGCA, and if you're not doing as per your rules, you will lose your license. Remember, not only the license, but you will also lose your job. So we need to know the rules and regulation of DGCA. Aviation. If I need to define it in a simple word, I would refer it as aviation is a flying of an aircraft, like an aeroplane. But it does not include only flying of an aircraft. It includes other various activities and industries related to the aircraft, like having a joyride, a repair organization, or even a ATC, etc. These all things are nothing but coming under aviation. But the biggest two users of aviation can be only two things. One is your air travel and one is a military. As you are a part of Indian aviation, we should know the basic of Indian aviation now. So Indian aviation is categorized in two major parts. One is our military aviation, the famous thing, Indian Air Force, and we have a civil aviation. Our concern here is related with civil aviation only, because you have taken admission in civil aviation category. 18th of February 1911. This is a historic date in Indian civil aviation history. On this very date, the first commercial flight of India took place. It took place from Allahabad to Naini. It was an air mail carrying letters and postcard. This was the very first beginning of Indian civil aviation history. As per the report of an IATA, we are the fastest growing aviation market in the world. Now what is IATA? IATA is an International Air Transport Association. Basically, this is created for the world airline, where, if I tell you in simple word, it creates a forum for fixing the price. But not only for the fixing of the price, they also set the various standards for the world airline. The civil aviation sector of India is under the control of Ministry of Civil Aviation. This ministry is coming under the control of the central government, and it is responsible for maintaining the civil aviation in systematic manner. How it do so? By preparing various policies and programs for the control and development of civil aviation. As of 2020, this has been headed by Sir Hardeep Puri. Our ministry having different body for the various purposes. Pawan Hans Helicopter Limited. This is the leading helicopter company in India which provides services for the oil sector of seashore as well as for the chartered services for travel and tourism. Rajiv Gandhi National Aviation University. This is the first national aviation university in India, and it is under the direct control of Ministry of Civil Aviation. We all know what is Air India. It is used for domestic and international air transport. Next, we have DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. This is the body of ministry responsible for the safety of civil aviation. Basically, ministry is responsible for the safety. So, to carry out this duty, the ministry have prepared one body which is known as a DGCA. So, DGCA look after the safety of civil aviation in India. Next, we have a AAI. From the name itself, you can see Airport Authority of India. This body is responsible for the design, development and maintenance of international and domestic airport of government. Next, we have a BCAS, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. From the name itself, it suggests it is responsible for the security of civil flights in India at international and domestic airports. These are the bodies of the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and our concern over here is with DGCA. As of now, we know that DGCA is a body working under the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Its responsibility is to oversight the safety of civil aviation. DGCA works through a headquarters which is located in New Delhi opposite to Safdarganj Airport. From this headquarters itself, it controls the civil aviation of India. Basically, DGCA makes rules and regulations to control civil aviation and to maintain air safety and fit to fly standard. Remember our first commercial flight, 1911? Post this flight, in 1934, Act was finalized, which was known as a Aircraft Act 1934. And in the later part of 1937, rules were made, which is known as the Aircraft Rule of 1937. On the basis of this acts and rule, DGCA controls the civil aviation of India. But wait, before understanding this Act of 1934 and Rule 1937, let us first understand what is Act and Rule. So first, acts are made, and with the reference of this acts, rule are prepared. Confused now? Let us make it simple. Let us first understand how Act is formed. Ministry prepares a draft. A draft can be of anything, of any changes or new thing you want in civil aviation. Now this draft is submitted by the ministry in the parliament. In the parliament, it goes through two stages, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. When these two bodies accept your draft, then it is been forwarded to president, who will sign it. Once your draft are been signed, now the acts are being formed. Once act is been formed, the ministry will prepare the rules on the basis of this act. So term is clear over here. First act is made, then the rules are formed on basis of this. Our Aircraft Act of 1934 have total 20 sections. And with the reference of these 20 sections, rules are being prepared to govern the civil aviation. Our very first rules of 1937 contain 161 rule, which was divided into 14 parts along with 7 schedules. This was prepared in 1937, but we know as the aviation keeps growing, new changes will be introduced and new laws and regulations will be required. So in 1934, DGCA came up with the rule which was demolition of obstructions caused by buildings, trees and etc. And in 2003, they came up with a rule that is carriage of dangerous goods. In 2011, rules were introduced regarding the security. And of latest, in 2017, rules were made regarding investigation of accident and incident. These are the total rules made so far. So I hope now you're well familiarized with Act and Rule. Up till now we understood how civil aviation came into existence in India and how DGCA came into being to control the civil aviation. As international flight was increasing day by day and many countries have started flying internationally, there was a chaos regarding rules and regulation as every country was having their own sets of rules. So to overcome this, there was a meeting organized in Chicago, which was termed as the Chicago Convention. Convention over here means an agreement. December 1944. This was a historic date for international civil aviation. On this date, various countries came together to attend a meeting and they decided to make a common rule to govern civil aviation internationally and to form one organization who will make rules and manage the international civil aviation. So every country which participated in the convention, they signed the convention, and this is how ICAO came into existence. ICAO over here means International Civil Aviation Organization. ICAO made SARP, which is Standard and Recommended Practices, means what should be common standard for every country which are flying internationally. 19 annexures are made so far by ICAO. Each annexure gives some standard, and on that basis every country frame their rules. ICAO also governs the international civil aviation. If any country which accept ICAO, they cannot violate the rules, and if they do so, they need to pay a hefty fine. Let us understand by example. Over here, India and Pakistan both are the contracting state. What is contracting state over here? Contracting state means the countries which participated in the meeting and who have signed the convention in Chicago, they are known as a contracting state. In simple word, if I say contracting state means countries which are following ICAO. As over here, both countries are following ICAO, they are termed as a contracting state. Over here, Air India have daily flight from Delhi to Kabul. So, the Air India flight will fly over the Pakistan airspace to reach Afghanistan, as this is the shortest route you can see. Now, if Pakistan restrict this flight, means they don't allow Air India to fly over their airspace, means they are violating the rules. Over here, now India will bring this problem to the notice of ICAO. And if over here it has been proved that Pakistan have restricted without any valid reason, he need to pay a hefty fine. So this was a short summary regarding international civil aviation. I hope now you know the basic about ICAO and their functions. Acts and the rules made thereunder governs the civil aviation of India. So far we know this. Basically, Rule of 1937 covers the every department of civil aviation. These rules gives power to DGCA to act as a regulatory body. Over here, regulatory body means one who look after the civil aviation of a particular country and make rules and regulation to maintain the civil aviation standard of that country. Rule 133A of Aircraft Law 1937 gives DGCA power to issue CAR, that is Civil Aviation Requirement. We already know what is Act and what is Rule and how they govern our civil aviation. Then why there was a need for CAR? DGCA introduced CAR to give a detailed understanding of the rules in a simple manner and how you should follow it. Example, Rule 61 is about requirement of AME license and categories of AME license. To give a detailed understanding of this rule and how you should follow it properly, DGCA introduced CR 66, that is licensing of AME. So you got it? Rule 61 already says about the requirement for the AME license, but to make it a detailed understanding of it in a simple manner, CR 66 was framed. There are total 11 sections of CAR. These 11 sections series alphabetically, and these series have a various parts. Detail of the series is given in the annexures. DGCA directly don't issue any CAR. First it make a draft of it and publish it on the DGCA website. Every person who is affected by this draft will give his views and suggestion in comment. If DGCA receives more number of positive feedbacks, then DGCA will issue such CAR. So far in this video lecture, we understood what is civil aviation, how acts and rules are formed, how international civil aviation works, and what is CAR. As now we have a basic understanding of these, let us see inside DGCA headquarters. DGCA have a various body who are managing the different department of civil aviation. Example, one department look after the air safety, other look after the aerodrome, licensing of person, etc. Each department is headed by a director. Like air safety department is headed by an air safety director, and the continuing airworthiness department is headed by a director of airworthiness. So every department manages their function and they all ultimately report to DG, that is Director General. Let us understand this in an example. As you are a student, right now for becoming an AME, you are being trained in a training organization which is being controlled by DAW, that is Directorate of Airworthiness. Your modular examination will be under the control of CEO, Central Examination Organization, and your license will be issued by a DAW, again that is Directorate of Airworthiness. So these are the department of our concern. So you see here how the different department of DGCA controls the different work, and the all department work together to maintain the civil aviation of India. Now one big question arises. Making a department and situating the headquarters in Delhi, is it enough to control the entire nation? Obviously no. That is the reason DGCA introduced regional and sub-regional offices throughout India. These ROs and sub-ROs report directly to the headquarters and maintain the rules and regulation made by DGCA in their region. RO is established for the various departments. We'll take an example over here of Airworthiness Directorate and understand how it controls his department from Delhi in the entire region of India. So the Airworthiness Directorate have total 14 regional offices divided in 4 regions. In North, the headquarters itself is a RO for the North region. In the South, we have Chennai and Bangalore. In the West, we have a Mumbai, and in the East, we have Kolkata. So you can see here, 5 ROs control the 4 regions and maintain the standard set by the headquarters. Now, if you look over here, only 5 ROs alone cannot maintain the entire region. So, sub-RO were made to support the ROs. In North region, we have Patiala, Lucknow and Kanpur as a sub-ROs. In South, we have Kochi and Hyderabad as a sub-RO. In the West, we have Bhopal, and in the East, we have a Bhubaneswar, Patna and Guwahati. Now you see how these regional offices are spread across our entire nation and maintain the civil aviation standard of India. So this was a short summary about DGCA.